What's up guys, how's it going? Mikevisuals here and welcome to the breakdown of my ViewSonic ColorPro video, What is Perfection? If you haven't checked that out yet, it would be an amazing time to do that right now. The video meant a lot to me. It had a lot of kind of personal, just kind of flashbacks, memories, even some childhood clips. Anyway, in this video, we're gonna be going through two things. At the start, we're gonna be going through kind of the tricks and tips of how I kind of created some of those scenes. The second part is going to be a breakdown of just a color piece, a color grading piece of the video from the What is Perfection video, like a snippet of the cinematic segment in there. And we're going to be breaking it down and color grading it on the go, starting from fresh and just really going into the kind of core color grading kind of elements of Premiere Pro. So we're going to be using obviously my trusty ViewSonic monitor. And for those who want to know, this is the ViewSonic VP2776 2K monitor. I've been using it for a couple of months now and I've been really enjoying the color accuracy on it, but we'll go into more detail on the importance of that later on. But in the meantime, let's get the video started. Let's roll the cinematics. So, intro piece. This whole sequence, I really wanted it to have that dream look. So that glowy kind of ambience, the environment, I wanted it really bright, and the actual room we're filming in, I really wanted it to be just super clean, super minimalistic. And honestly, I spent hours on Airbnb trying to find the location, but we pulled through and Jimmy and I went to this location in, I think it was South Essex. So James's back garden, you can call it. And I really wanted to achieve this kind of dream look. So I was thinking, right, I've got the location. Hopefully I'm gonna get the light coming through the windows to get that kind of dreamy kind of light ray look. But how am I gonna get these light rays? There's other ways to do it with smoke machines and just a load of other ways. But honestly, smoke machines, they stink. And also they're just so heavy to carry around. And logistics wise, they're not portable and they're just a hassle. But I really wanted to get this dream look with the rays. So that brings on to my first kind of little trick about getting light rays, and it's with this thing. It's the secret secret box. So here is the little secret. It is the Smoke Genie. So what it is literally, think of these massive smoke machines. It's all of that in this tiny thing. It's literally the size of my phone, which is crazy. So this is what we used to make the light rays. And honestly, I'll be traveling with this. I have been doing a couple of trips with this and it's a game changer. And this is the secret of how we got these light rays. So if I put it on right now quickly. Instant, I'm actually gonna fog up this room now. And instantly you get that kind of dream atmosphere. Hopefully this fire alarm doesn't go off. But to be honest, I can just probably smoke out this room a bit. And it will actually allow us to kind of get these kind of glowy looks I wanted to get in the final video. So you'll see in a minute as it settles. This is by far the weirdest thing I've done on the YouTube channel. Okay, so we're gonna let that settle a bit, but you'll see in a minute, it will settle down, it will stay in the air. And already you can see as the light hits this smoke, it just creates that dream look. And that was exactly what I was going for. So here's a couple behind the scenes of how we achieved those. Right, dude. Static behind a little bit. Right, we've got some hard light coming through this room and we're going to try and capture it. Yeah, it's coming. Yeah, I'll put it right. Okay, yeah, that's okay. So as you can see, James and I are messing about with the Smoke Genie. Honestly, it is really, once you start clicking it, you can't stop and you just want to literally use all of the fluid inside. But James was telling me off a bit about pumping it too much, but it is really cool. I would definitely recommend checking it out, and getting those light rays was amazing. But we did have to just pray that the weather was going to pull through, which it did in the end at the very last minute. But a little trick, Smoke Genie, definitely check it out. It's just a good use of like light rays or anything like that. So yeah, put it on your wish list. All right, so the second thing I'm going to be discussing is what kind of filter did I use to add to that dream look, add to that kind of overall, just that kind of flashback memory looking vibe I wanted to achieve for the film. And that brings us to one of these. No, it's not a polarizer. It's not a ND filter. It's actually a black Pro Mist filter. And I've been using these for a couple of years now, and they're super underrated. Not that many people really know about black Pro Mist. Black Pro Mists are really essential to get that kind of dreamy, less harsh look in your shots. I use it for every single camera now. Sometimes the cameras we use, like Sony's or Canons or a lot of these cameras, they do have quite a digital look. So to reduce that a bit, I use a black Pro Mist, and it just softens the image. If you're shooting in harsh light, you can just use this to kind of dampen down that harshness, and it really does come through in the final edit. And this combined with the Smoke Genie in the intro was the perfect combination to get that kind of dream look I was going for. So here are some shots with the black Pro Mist, and you can really see if you look in the highlights, it's really glowing in those highlights, and that is because of the black Pro Mist. And also drone shots. Honestly, we joked about it on the trip, but say you're flying your drone next to the beach, you're gonna get that kind of misty sea spraying up at that drone, and it will hit the camera lens, and honestly, you end up just getting an organic, homemade black Pro Mist on your drone. So as you can tell from these drone shots at the beach, you can get that misty look when the sun hits it. It just looks like a black Pro Mist, which is awesome. So I would highly recommend checking out a black Pro Mist filter, because I use it for every single film. So those are the two kind of secret little things I used in my video, What is Perfection, to kind of achieve that dream look. And overall, I'm really happy how it went. And big shout out to my mate James and Torn and Amy in Cape Town as well, just for helping me achieve that video. I couldn't have done it without you guys, so thank you. So I've now showed you how I achieved that dream look. I'm now gonna hop over to the monitor to check out some of these raw shots and show you guys how I color graded it and just how I achieved that cinematic look. So let's hop over to Premiere Pro and just draw some selects and get color grading. We're gonna be starting with this drone shot anyway, so we're gonna be dragging it into Premiere Pro to start a new sequence. So I'm just gonna quickly scrub through it. As you can tell, it's insane, the shot. James, kudos. So I'm gonna be just trying to take it from about here. Actually, the camera kind of moves slightly there, so we're gonna start here. Okay, so this is gonna be our color grading kind of image we're gonna be basing it off. I'm just gonna pull out slightly here, it helps me. Okay, so what I always do is I just go immediately to the curves tool, just because it's so flat. I always just automatically go to the curves tool. And then also, for those who wanna know, we're shooting D-Log-M on the DJI Mavic 3 here. So we're gonna be attaching the DJI D-Log LUT, which is gonna be automatically helping us just kind of bring the colors a lot more to what they actually were in real life. But again, because we're shooting D-Log, we can really bring that color and just customize it completely, which we're going to be doing. But as the base, curves and the LUT is where I kind of go off from. And obviously you can do it without the LUT, but I just prefer to do that just because it just is much easier and my workflow is increased massively by that. So we're going to be using the curves tool right now. So I'm just going to be bringing in the shadows a bit more on these rocks here. And again, mentioning the ViewSonic monitor, I know that this monitor is color accurate. I've calibrated it myself, and knowing that these shadows and these blacks and these highlights is literally true to what it is on the monitor, I can just be reassured when I export it, wherever it's going to go for the final destination, I know that it's going to be color accurate, and if it was to go on TV, like a big billboard, hopefully the color is going to be true to what it really is. So it's just reassurance, to be honest. And as we're crushing these blacks a bit more and the highlights, bringing out the highlights in the sky, you can definitely just see the color on the monitor really pop. And comparing it to monitors that I've used in the past, it really is a lot more accurate than what I've been used to. Okay, so we're going to be bringing out these shadows a little bit more. We don't want to go all the way too up because as you can see on myself here, it's just creating this horrible haze. So we're just going to be bringing it down ever so slightly. And I'm going to go to the creative tab, go on look, and we're going to just select that DJI Rec 709 D-Log-M LUT. Okay, that that literally made it look purple, but we're gonna really dial it back. Like I said, we don't want to use this LUT as the color grade. We want to use it as literally a 10% base, just to kind of bring out that color, then just to bring out the color it really was. And we can just bring it out to around 10%. So we're gonna leave that at that. Obviously, those who don't want to do the kind of LUT route, you can skip this part, but I'm just going to be doing that. It's just a bit easier to bring back the colors. But next up is the basic correction tab. So I always just go through contrast, bringing those kind of shadows back in, highlights. I'm going to be lowering it a bit because if we increase it too much, it's going to be blowing out these skies way too much. And I'm going to be bringing the shadows down, and again the blacks. It's looking very flat still. We're literally 10% there, so let's just continue this. So we're gonna be going down to the HS secondary tab. We're gonna be using this dropper tool, and we're gonna be selecting the rocks. And we're gonna click this color gray area, and we're just gonna try our best to just select the rocks. Nothing else, just the rocks. It might pick up my face a little bit, but if we can use this -1. And as you can tell, it's just deleted me a bit, and we can bring out those rocks a little bit more. Like so. We're going to be making these rocks glow a bit more. We're going to make them a lot more orange and just have that light bounce off them a bit more. So we're going to go to the temperature tool on the HSL. And as you can tell, as I'm increasing it, it's just really bringing out all of the color in the shot. And you can just double check what you're kind of highlighting. And you don't want to be tuning too much to the sky, just the rocks. And a little bit of a pink tint will be great. We can use this to bring it down a bit, just to, again, crush those blacks. We don't want it too high at all, because it was quite late in blue hour we were shooting this, so we want it to be true to what it was. Okay, that's looking pretty good. If we zoom into my face right now, it's looking way too pale, and there's no contrast or shadows on my skin right now, so we're gonna go and fix that. So we're just gonna be playing around with each of the tools here, just bringing it lower and lower. It's looking quite nice. The texture's really coming through on this rock. Right now, it's looking pretty good, but I really think the sky is struggling to keep up with the rest of the color grade. So we're gonna go to the effects control tab, copy and paste this, and we're gonna just reset that so there's nothing on there. We're just gonna double check that. We're actually gonna use this mask tool. So we're gonna just highlight the sky, drag this all the way. I want to put it around here. I want to go to the start of our clip, drag it to where the horizon is, click this mask tool, just skip a bit, drag it down to the horizon again, and drag it down there and there. So as you can see, throughout the whole thing, it's sticking to that horizon, And this is where we're going to really change things up with the sky. So we've now selected this color grade, and immediately you can just increase the warmth a little bit. And again, curves tool. Just increasing it ever so slightly. And this tool is really good to actually give me some more contrast and shadows on my skin right now. There is this kind of harsh mask line coming through, but we'll sort that out in a second. Going back to the curves tool, we're going to select the red button here, and we're just going to be playing around with the reds for a second. Okay, this line's bugging me. Go to mask, feather, and it automatically just takes that away, and it's really clean now. The whole purpose of this shot is to overdo it on the oranges and pinks and reds. It's meant to be this amazing, colourful afterburn at sunset, so that is what it's looking like right now. I love the reflections on the rock. I think right now the sky is still it doesn't have enough texture, so we're going to go into the color grade again. Okay, we're going to be clicking on to the curves tool, the blue one. I just want to get a bit more orange in the scene, so we're just playing around with this right now. These are very small micro adjustments. Again, we're just going to quickly go over to the green tab, and again we're just kind of making it a bit more pink and orange. Okay, going on to the main color lumetri color tab, we're just going to play around with these now, so adding contrast again. Shadows, just playing around with these, really bringing out that detail in the sky now, which is looking good. You can see that harsh line still coming through, so if we just really do feather that out even more, it's going to help a lot. Okay, it's looking pretty good. I think it is a bit overkill with the oranges right now. My body is really orange, so we need to figure that out. So what I'm going to be doing is using another lumetri color tool, selecting it with the HSL secondary and just desaturating it a bit. So we're going to do that once we've nested the clip, but let's just do these other adjustments and then get onto that. Okay, I'm liking what we're seeing right now. So what we're going to be doing is, my body is way too orange, so we're going to be just nesting this clip by clicking 3, and then I can just select another HSL secondary on here, just pinpointing myself, and nice, it's picked up my body and my arms. We don't want to be selecting the rocks because we don't want to get rid of that saturation just yet, which is good. It's picked up the, it's basically saying my face is red, and we're going to be going down to the saturation tab, and we're just going to be reducing that a bit, and maybe just making it a bit cooler, because it's just way too orange right now. And if I click the before and after, you can see my body is less red, and I think it definitely looks a lot much better. I think I look a bit too pale now, so we're just going to increase the saturation just ever so slightly, and just increase the contrast on the overall shot. And sharpening, you can just put it to 15 or 20. And not bad. That is the color grade, guys. I really hope you enjoyed that. Let me know any kind of questions you had about that in the comments below, but super easy, just using masks, the little LUT as a base, and just playing around with what Premiere Pro has to offer. You can get a lot more technical, but I think you don't want to just overdo it on clips that really don't need it. I just had to bring out the shadows a bit more, and the sky just needs to get that kind of texture and color back. So overall, I'm really happy how that looks. So going back to the importance of having a good monitor, I've been really enjoying the ViewSonic monitor right now. The color accuracy, like I said, is crucial. One, it saves you time when you're editing. You don't want to be stressing over about colors are not looking right if you go over to your phone and they look completely different to your laptop or your monitor. It's just very stressful as a filmmaker. So you need to be making sure your monitor is properly calibrated. And also myself, I use a MacBook Pro, so this matches up perfectly. It's the perfect partner really for the MacBook Pro. It seamlessly plugs in with a USB-C cable, and it charges the Mac as well, which is really awesome. And to be honest guys, I'm all about having a slick desk setup, so it looks pretty good with the backlight behind it, and overall it's very sleek and minimalistic. And I love to have my desk just clear and just kind of making it look good, you know. So it's really important to kind of keep those things in mind when choosing a monitor. Overall guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video. We went over some tips and tricks on the film and how I color graded some shots in there. And also check out the ViewSonic monitors in the description. There's a link you can check out. And I guess on that note guys, I will see you in the next one. Peace.